This is a 1972 Buick Grand Sport Convertible. This is a real deal GS, and it's powered by its numbers matching 350 4-barrel V8 with the correct ram air air cleaner and factory ram air hood. On bottom of the hood, when we got it in, we took it off and had it all painted nice. Looks really nice under the hood. Again, I did verify, and the VIN number on the car matches the VIN on the motor, so it is the correct 350. This is not a Skylark. This is a GS. It's not a clone, so it's the real deal car. As far as the engine goes, plug wires look good on it. We put new spark plugs in it. We hooked up a manual choke for it. Just gave it a good tune-up and went through things. As far as the options, it does have power steering, power top, and power brakes. We'll kind of go into the paint and body a little bit. The body on this car is super straight. You'll see that when we get down low, and you can look up and down the sides. But this is a fantastic looking car. I'm at about 5-6 foot right now, and standing here it looks like an absolute show car. If you get right on top of it, you can tell that some of the metallic isn't laid out the best. It's just a little blotchy in spots, but you can't tell that until you're right on top of it. As you look up and down the sides, it's a great looking car. It's got a nice shine, but I would call it between an amateur and a driver quality paint job with a great shine and a nice body. That's how I'd classify this real GS convertible. Tires are in great shape. They got BFG raised white letters on their correct rally chrome rim. As we look at the hood gap on the driver's side, it's a nice even gap from front to back. Same thing on the passenger side. From all the GS's I've looked at, for some reason, the restorer, when he did it, put the Skylark emblem on the front. I don't know why, but that's not correct on the car. It's a real GS with a real GS hood, but the previous owner did put the Skylark emblem on the front of the hood. And to my knowledge, that's Skylark only, not GS. As far as the front bumper goes, the front bumper looks great. The chrome looks nice on the front bumper, and it's got the rubber molding all the way around the front. Its factory grille is original, not in bad shape at all, but you can tell it's got a little paint crack down here along the very base of it, and it's been repainted silver years ago. Driver quality, but not as nice as the bumper. The bumper looks really sharp. As we move forward here, the paint's been done a few years ago, so it still has a good shine, and I can't mark off, tell you about every little thing wrong with the paint, but the biggest thing I'd say is the metallics are just blotchy in spots. It does have the dual mirrors, and we do have a couple paint chips here right along the door edge, another one right here. But as far as our adjustment now, we got a really nice gap from top to bottom, so I'm sure that probably happened when during the restoration and fitting. If you look right here, there's a couple touch-ups, a gold touch-up right there. Don't know what happened there. Other than that, no blisters on the lower fender. The door looks great. If we have a blister at all, it's very, very small. You can kind of see it, my edge of my finger there. I don't know if that's a blister or a little paint, dirt or something like that right there. Other than that, our passenger door looks great. Original door handles, so we do have a little bit of pitting on them, but not bad. Our gap here, it's got a tighter gap on the back, but it's even from top to bottom. Quarter panel looks good in the front and in the back. As far as our top goes, in my ad I mentioned it had two little spots on the top, one here and one here. That's been temporarily fixed and will keep water out and stuff. It's got a glass back window, and the top's very presentable. But to be a super nice car, this car needs to be repainted and probably should have a new top put on it. If you want a show car, those things will definitely need to be done. As far as our dash goes, original Sonomatic radio works, which is kind of a miracle. It's got its factory buckets and console. Dome light works under here. The dome lights work in the back as well. As we look in here, we got original warranty card information. Got original owner's manual, stuff like that. Also looks like there's a couple other caps here in case a guy loses any. Carpet's been replaced, but it's been a while ago. It's got a kind of a, well, it'll come off a little dirty right up front here, like a little stain. Kick panels are nice. Door panel is in really good shape. It all appears to be original. We got a small little tear right here, a little scuff on that door panel, and you have some discoloration on the armrest, which is very typical of its age. But other than that, the saddle interior on the door panel is in great shape. You can see here on the repaint, the car looks like from the factory paint was darker gold. They did this little lighter color, and they just did a really poor prep job on this door paint. Our guys, you could really scrape it off, and that's what we did. We had a little bit of it, and we scraped that off there to show you. But absolutely no rust in these doors. And if you look at the floor pan pictures, the floors, frame, and trunk all are super solid. The exhaust sounds good, but it's got a surface rusty dual exhaust. The exhaust is older, but floors and stuff are really solid. Seat covers, to me, in my opinion, are original, and they look good. Door panels look good, front and back. Just really in great shape. You know, you have your scuffs in the back here, but you're showing the black through from the factory. These things get, you know, dyed the saddle or whatever, and we just got some scrapes. So got some scratches on that hard plastic, but seats look good, door panels look good. Dash pad looks nice. I don't see any cracks on the dash pad. Chrome exhaust tips on the back. You know, they're older. They're probably done in the early 2000s, late 90s, the exhaust was. So the guy would be nicer if a guy put new dual exhaust on it. It'd look a little better. Those tips got a little surface rust to them. Back bumper, very nice driver quality bumper. It's not new. You got some pits and stuff in it up here above this rubber. But for a Skylark bumper, you know, I would leave it. It looks great for a driver condition car. Trunk lid gaps look really good. There again, the driver's side body looks nice and straight. It's just some little stuff. It's got little scuffs there, and it's got some scuffs here. If you're looking for just a great looking car, parade car, that kind of thing, cruise night car, I wouldn't paint it or do anything with it. I'd drive it and enjoy it, because it does have a really nice shine. Same thing on our doors. We got another chip right here along this front edge. Same thing as what we did on the passenger side. Other than that, I don't see any other chips in the door itself. Door gap seems to be looking good. Nice even gap from top to bottom, I'm sorry. Inside of this door jamb, obviously you sanded it better when you prepped it. This paint all stayed on here as well. You can also see, like I said, the original color on this car was just a kind of a darker gold. Bottom corner of the door looks good. The doors and stuff all appear to be painted off the car. Right here we also have some of the door jamb paint. Like I said, you just didn't prep it as well as you did the rest of the car. It's coming off a little bit. Driver's side seat, I don't see any rips or tears anywhere in that seat. And this car's pretty rare with the tilt wheel, which is awful nice. It does have the tilt column. Now as we're looking at our factory gauges, factory temp gauge works, oil pressure gauge works, it's above normal. Temp gauge is just finally coming up nice, gas gauge works. Car has 20,961 miles. Judging by the original interior, I'm guessing that's definitely 120, you know, not 220. It's not 20,000 miles, it shows a little wear, but all in all, the interior is really nice for original. Factory clock does not work. Wipers are working, all exterior lights, stuff like that's working. We check them when it come in. Heater fans working. I mentioned already that the original radio works. When the car came in, the tilt column, like a lot of them, get a little loose. And I was just really happy how that turned out. I mean, that column is just super tight, so that all got tightened up really nicely. And it's got the dual gate shifter, which is kind of nice on these. Most of these cars had the bench seat. The buckets in the console are really nice to have. Like I said, we did put a manual choke in it, which made that nice just to when you're taking off, and we put that right down below the steering column down there. Transmission shifts very nice. Get a little first gear scratch when it shifts. Front suspension feels nice as well. We have all feels nice and tight. The steering's tight on it. As far as our brakes go, it's got power brakes, no pull left or right. Speedometer seems to work good, but at low speeds it's got just a little bounce to it. There, we just punched it down. The kick down works on the transmission. Transmission has a real nice firm shift to it. Gets right up to speed and handles the road great, guys. This car did come in with a parade boot. I did throw it away. It was just the clips were broke and it was just worn through in a lot of spots. So you'll need to get a new parade boot with it if you choose to have one. Car goes down the road great at 65, 70, 55. Just a really nice cruising, real GS Buick.